Harvey.
Yeah, how dare you?
You slut.
Welcome back to the It Was Never Paid podcast featuring me, Pamela, and Jazz. Hello.
Hi.
So, last week we had so much fun interviewing our first ever guest, Tosh, which is one of our closest friends. In today's episode, we will be talking about a very big moment in both of our lives, which will be the first ever time that we met Max and Harvey, which we are both so incredibly grateful for, especially compared to now. But yeah, we both met them on the same tour, which was the Stranger Tour of 2020. So we'll let Jazz go first.
Okay, let's go. So the first time I met them was on the 18th of February 2020. It wasn't the first time I saw them live though, because I first saw them live in it was the 3rd of August 2019. There we go. Got my words out. And that was fun. But obviously, so the Stranger Tour tickets went on sale in the September 2019, and I was very excited because obviously there was VIP, and I was like begging my mom. I was like, because my birthday's in 2 months, can it be an early birthday present, please? She's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we obviously got the tickets for the Manchester show and had VIP. It was fun. Um, so obviously like the build up to like the days when you go to meet like Max Harvey or whoever you're going to meet, or like the show, just a concert in general, like it's so exciting because it's like it builds so much adrenaline, and I was very very excited. There wasn't a day where I wasn't counting down. It got to obviously February, um and it got to because it when this tour was happening, I was still in school, but it was the half term, as we call it in the UK. And I think, and obviously, I was 15 at this point as well, so I was I wasn't prepping for exams or anything because I was in year 10. But little did I know, lockdown would hit after. But that's something we don't need to get into. Anyways, it got to I think the night before, and because of how excited I was, I couldn't sleep at all. I don't know if anyone else has that kind of.
Uh, If you're able to sleep the day before something big is happening, I applaud you so much because that could
Honestly,
never be me.
no, neither. I mean, I'm a lot better now, but because I mean, I'm still like a massive fangirl now to this day. But back when I was a teenager, that sounds really horrible to say. I'm literally 21. I'm just saying back when I was a teenager.
When I was a teenager, the old-timey days.
Yeah. Um, I was so much more of a fangirl, and I just couldn't like. But the thing is, I couldn't express it as much as what I can now because I have friends I speak to. The majority of my friends are online and also fangirls, so it's great. Including this one right here. um, and like yeah, so the night before, I tried to go to bed at a reasonable time. Did it happen? No. Could I sleep at all? I got like a few hours, but I could I woke up quite early in the morning. I think I got up about like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't leaving until like 1, 2 in the afternoon. But I I literally remember I got up, had my breakfast, like did all like my brush my teeth and all that, got changed, and I was ready probably within an hour or two because I don't wear makeup either, so I didn't have to do any of that. I just literally stuck on my outfit because I already pre-planned my outfit probably the day before, knowing me, because that's always what I end up doing. Um, but so yeah, I got that on. and I was just like, it literally felt like time was going so slow. I was like, "Can we go yet?" I kept asking my mum, "Can we go yet?" She's like, "No, Jasmine, we're leaving at this time." And I'm just like, "Oh, can we go yet?" Donkey and Shrek going, "Are we there yet?"
Are we there yet?
Not yet.
Hey, are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
Yes.
Really?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No, we are not.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
I literally was like that, but we're saying, "Can we go yet? Can we go yet?" And then I'll be like in the car, then saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" Because it's not much of a drive from where I live to Manchester. It's probably about just over an hour. So it wasn't. It obviously felt like it dragged because of the way there was also traffic. So we got to Manchester, but I think it was literally like, I think we were about 10-15 minutes away from the venue, and I was getting messages like saying there was so much carnage and stuff happening with queues and all that, and I was just like, what do you expect me to do in a sense? But I'm
Yeah.
also there stressing in the car, like, oh gosh.
Yeah, because it was also because like I was at that show, I'd been there like all day. I didn't know Jazz at this point in time, but I'd been there like all day and I was watching all this stuff like kick off, and I'm like, what are you doing, people?
Because as well, like I didn't really know much about, like, I knew about like concert Atique, like some parts of concert Atique and all that because my sister has been
Yeah.
a fan, was a fangirl long before me, and she actually got me into a band called the Vamps. So, and that's what the concerts she's mainly been to, and was telling me like how concerts work and all that. Because Max Narvi was actually my first concert, and obviously
Mine
my first
too.
festival as well. Yep, high five.
The
um, so I was kind of stressing as well because I wasn't obviously told like like queuing and all that, like that kind of side of things, because
not
well,
like crazy people like us.
yeah, you'll catch me queuing until how old I feel like it, because it's not about just like being up front and all that, because I wasn't actually up front for Max and Harvey the first time I saw them. I think I was at one point during the sound check I was fourth row, and then because there was so many people from GA pushing in, I ended up being fifth row. But then I also made friends in VIP because of the way they were like, "Oh, are these people pushing past you?" Because if they are,
Yeah.
don't let them because they're GA. And they were like, "Oh, let's all form a group." And
I
then I
know
actually,
the people that you are talking about too. I remember them because they were
I don't even remember
out.
what
Because they
the
were
ones that were
all,
GA pushing in.
I
They
don't know
are.
them personally, but like I just remember this specific detail. And they're like, we've been here for so long, we traveled so far. And everyone that like knew me at that point in time just looked at me. I was like, you want to go talk to them? I'm like, not really.
So I ended up being like fifth row for that, but I wasn't first, although I couldn't really see much because of my height and tall people stood in front of me. Still an issue to this day. Oh yeah, I wonder who's taller than me. I was trying to mentally prepare myself and I just couldn't. I was still like a nervous wreck. And that's like the thing, like if you ever meet Max and Harvey, if you love Max and Harvey, or if you meet any of your idols, try your hardest not to let the nervousness take over your excitement.
And if you
Because
cry, it's okay. So many people
yeah,
have cried during their meet and greets.
there was one meet and greet where I was like thanking Max and Harvey for everything, blah blah. And I was like, oh, I'm trying not to cry now. And then Harvey literally goes, don't cry, you'll make me cry. So I was just like, but I was like, if you end up crying, that's gonna make me worse. So it's
I
kind of
was
like
trying to like tell them that on the last tour, and I just like every time I walked up to them, like
hmm.
I can't be emotional. Really.
What?
We're in the Patreon group chat right now.
Oh my god.
I wanted to thank them for everything that they'd done, but nothing else was coming out. But yeah, they're really good at handling emotions, which I'm really
This is
thankful.
it's gonna sound really bad, but not to say that Max isn't. Because yeah, because I do definitely think that Harvey's definitely the one to not to say that Max again, not to say that Max isn't, because
Yeah.
Harvey's definitely the one to more decide where he can. Because I feel like, in a sense, he probably expresses his emotions more. I'd like to say, but I don't. I'm not too sure. Not don't quote me on that one. Because like when I was like thanking them and stuff for everything, it was like they definitely both of them definitely do listen a lot. Like they're just there like staring into your soul as you're speaking, and I'm just like stop staring at me.
I think it's funny though, like when we do that, like they hear so many of our emotion, like they see so many of our emotions. They see, like they hear so much about like us in our personal life and how they've helped us, and then they're just there listening. And I think it's to think about. I think it's so funny. Like obviously, like our emotions and stuff are not funny, but like I think it's so funny that these two random, they were teenagers, these two random teenagers hear the lives of so many people and how that they've helped them.
Mm-hmm. I think I definitely like the first time. Obviously, I'm going back to the first time I met them because that was the whole conversation. Um, sorry, I just had to screw us all in the Patreon. Not my issue. I've not said anything. He's telling. He's like, right, screw you guys. I'm not your image by now. Something like that. I've not said anything. Yeah, going back to obviously the first time I met them, my thing when I look back to the first time I met them, I wish I spoke more because I if I find my how long my video was for, I'm not showing the video to anyone. By the way, you get a picture. Pamela let it picture in, but I am not sending anyone my video. I refuse. Hold on.
Well, I wish I would have spoke more the first time that I met them. Actually, just like the first couple times. So I was just like not able, like you could literally tell my good days compared to my bad days. Like
This
yeah.
go on. The my first ever meet and greet was 28 seconds long, and the my mom with Nen after was 33 seconds long.
Yeah, the first time I met them, I'm pretty sure the only words that I got out were, yeah, ha 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 ha. That's about it.
Sorry, I'm not trying not to look at the messages, but someone I can't. I don't want to dox someone on this, but yeah, I think the longest meet and greet I think of mine's been a minute and 20 seconds from what I've looked at. I don't know, but anyways, back to. I hate missing them on the bloody thing, but it's some ironic timing. Harvey,
Yeah, how dare you?
you slut.
Yeah, we were doing so good on time too, because we're on a time crunch today.
So it got to obviously when I got to the venue, and then like security were like people. My friends were actually talking to security when I got there, and I was like, "Oh, okay, hello, what's going on?" So then they dragged me with them. And I was like, "What's going on? I don't know what." Anyways, queued, scanned tickets, and then the most horrendous thing was about this venue. was that it was in the basement. So when you were queuing, you would melt. I was literally, it was so
It
hot.
was so hot.
Literally, so I got Max and Harvey chocolate, and the chocolate melted. So when I gave it to them, I actually had them in the wrong hand as well, because I was meant to give Harvey's was in this hand, Max was in this hand, because I had like the letters of their names on them, and I was like, oh shit, that way, that, because I was like, oh my gosh. I'm hoping they didn't notice the fact that it was melted. But yeah, so it got to when we were downstairs with queuing, and it got to like the little mini group of me and my friends, and I made my friend go first because she had met them before. So I was like, "You've met them before, go." I didn't push her or anything. She kind of agreed to go first in the end, anyways. So shout out Millie. She watches this, I don't know. Um, and so I was talking to the security guard at this point, and she asked me, she was like, "Have you met Max Norrie before?" I was like, "No." Literally, my voice was going so high pitched because what happens when I'm nervous is my voice either goes high pitch. I do a load of actions with my hands like I'm doing now, but I'm not nervous. But I'll do a lot more when I'm nervous, um, or I won't really speak at all. 2 out of 3 of those things happened. High pitched voice happened. A load of hand movements happened. Horrible. But so she was like, "Oh, they're great." Because she was like, "It was my first time meeting them today too, but they're great guys, and you don't have to be nervous." I was like, "I'm sorry, are you the?"
Not a fan.
At this point? So she's like, "You'll be fine, you'll be fine." My friend then went and finished her meet and greet, and she went on to go to see Nan. I got called over. I was like, "Shit!" I was like, "Shit, shit, shit! It's me, it's me!" I was so scared. I'll give you an example of my so Dobby was felt like every tour now Dobby films for you. When walking up to Dobby, here I had my good old iPhone 6s, which is actually I think in one of my old drawers currently. I walked up to Dobby and I had it on I think I had it on my camera ready for him to start filming. I was shaking like that. I kid you not. I was like so scared.
He's grabbing my. I don't remember what. I think it was Birmingham the last tour. I went to like grab my raffle ticket from Duffel, and my health was so bad that I was like shaking so bad. And it took me like probably a good 15 seconds to grab my ticket. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm. I yeah, so I gave Dobby my phone and then I walked up to because it was Max first, and I walked up and I was slowly walking because knowing me, if I like sped walk or I ran, one, I'd embarrass myself. Two, I'd end up falling over. Both embarrassing either way, but so I walked over and I think I'm pretty sure from what I remember my vision went slightly blurry and I was getting quite overwhelmed. So it was like I thought I was gonna pass out. Not like pass out, but it was just like my brain was gone. I couldn't
Yeah.
but I still gave Max a hug, and then once I gave Max a hug, I walked over to Harvey and gave Harvey a hug. Um, I gave Harvey a hug. Then I gave them their melted chocolate, and obviously I told you about that part before. God forbid. Anyways, then we did the pose, and then I gave them hugs again, and I was like, bye. But I wish I spoke more because I was literally like, can we do this pose? I'm just like, I look back and I'm like, because I can't watch any of my meet and greet videos back in the first place because I hate how I sound. But I can just like remember what I was like during that meet and greet, and I'm just like, this is the worst. The worst I've ever sounded ever. So, but yeah, that was how that meet and greet went. And then obviously we had sound check and it was great. And that was my first time meeting them. And I
Yeah,
just want to say, don't be nervous, guys, because otherwise that nervousness might take over and you might end up being too nervous to even speak. And
yeah.
don't.
And then you might regret not
Because
speaking as much.
one thing I will say is that when you walk up to them, they'll be, the one phrase they'll always say is, "Hi, how are you? Lovely to see you." Not to say that they're not lovely to see you because it's a phrase that they always say. It's just because obviously they're welcoming and comfortable.
And not just they make you feel like you're not just another person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now it's Pamela's turn.
Okay, so me first meeting them all started, I think, maybe the August before the tour happened, because they were doing like a singular concert in Anaheim, California for like the Americans for with Jaden Bartels for the song Electric. And so I was talking to my grandpa and he's like, yeah, we may be able to go. We just got to see how money is at that point in time. And so that was happening and I ended up not being able to go because flights were like they were expensive for a very short notice. And I had never traveled in my life or anything, so yeah. So then they announced the tour right after that, and I was talking to my grandpa about so I was talking to him about that and I was like, "Can we go to London?" And he's like, "Do you think I made a money, kid?" Because at that point in time, I'd never had a job. I'd never, like, I was a spoiled kid. So I didn't really understand how, like, money and stuff worked at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And so my grandpa was like, you get a job, you save up for it, and whatever is left for you to save up, I will help you with that. So he told me that to shut me up. He told me that to shut me up because he didn't think I was gonna go apply for any jobs or anything.
Oh, bless.
Anyways, I left. I finished talking to him, went straight to my room, got on my laptop, and applied for every job that was available for a 16-year-old to get in the area that I lived in. Spoiler alert, we had a restaurant and we had Walmart. So I ended up getting an interview for Walmart. I got the job. I started in the middle of October. I got the job in the middle of October and I worked my ass off. I was working, I think, 5 days a week, 3 of which were after school because I got out of school at 3:45. I started work at 4 and then I finished at 9 because I legally had to be out of there at 9. And then I was going to school at that point in time. And then the weekends I was working 8-hour shifts. So I was working 5 days a week, going to school. And like, this was not even knowing if I was going to be able to go or not. But me and my grandpa were talking after I saved up a little bit of money, and I was like, they're starting to sell out. Can I like buy the tickets? Because I don't want, like, I'm able to sell them if I can't go, but I don't want to lose the opportunity of going. Because I was going to 3 shows. And my grandpa was like, yeah, go ahead, buy them. I bought them, still not knowing if I was going to be able to go. I kept saving and everything. It got to December and we had to get passports because we didn't have passports. So we got our passport stuff, like we did our passport stuff to get passports, which was like $400.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was for 2 people.
Mm.
But anyways, so we did that, continued going to school, and then it got to the middle of January, and we still weren't sure if I was going to be able to go or not. So, they announced a looped call, and it was just basically like a 5-minute FaceTime with them. Oh, and so I was like,
Back the looped calls.
it literally got announced that it was gonna like tickets were gonna go on sale at 4 o'clock. And I walked out of the school building at 3:55 because it was one of my days off, luckily. But I walked out, I saw this, I was like, Grump, should I do it? Because I don't know, like, we're still not sure if I'm gonna be able to go, but people were freaking out, being like, people that are going on tour are buying the tickets. I'd like looped tickets, and I was like, I don't want to be one of those people. And he's like, but you don't know if you're going or not. And this may be your only chance. All right, okay. So I bought them, and then literally, so the tickets came on sale on like a Thursday or something like that. And then the following, the following week, the tickets, that's when you did the looped calls. And in between buying the tickets and the looped call, we found out that we were going. I was like, so we found out that we were going, and on my loop call, I ended up doing like outside, like on my front porch, just because like I lived in a house with like 7 people. Yeah. So I was on my front porch, and I had a bunch of pets at the time, a bunch of dogs, and they ended up deciding to join in on my looped call. But had my little call with them, and they decided that they didn't care about my name, but I was the girl with 5,000 dogs from Wisconsin. And I told them that I was like flying out to meet them, and they were like, the reaction was so like, oh my gosh. I was so happy about the reaction because they seemed generally so excited. And so then I finished my last day of school, which was February. I think I finished school February 12th. And then, because obviously our breaks are different times, like our school breaks. So I was still having school happening at that point in time. So I did my last day of school. I did some like stuff that I was gonna miss while at school, like some testing and stuff. And then it all started to like feel real, but not really. And we packed and everything. We got in the car. The night before we left, I did not sleep. I was wide awake all night. I slept a little bit on the car to the airport because it's a 2.5 hour drive. And then we got to the airport. It was the first time I had gone to like TSA and everything because I'd never been on a plane. So my bright idea was to go on an 8-hour flight for my first plane over the ocean. Really smart. But so we got through TSA and everything, and we actually were the last ones to board the plane. We almost missed our flight.
Gosh.
We got on the flight, and the first flight was from Minnesota to Dublin because we had a layover in Dublin, and that was an 8-hour flight. I did not sleep at all. It was an overnight flight. It was a red-eye flight, and I didn't sleep at all. We then arrived in Dublin at like 6 a.m. Had like a 3-hour layover, which I slept the entire duration of. And then we got on our flight to London, which again, 45 minutes, slept the entire duration of it. And then we arrived in London, and that's when I was like, it's becoming real. It's actually happening. I'm like, it's happening. What's going on? And so we arrived in London at Heathrow, and I thought the tube was fake. I'm a little special. So I didn't actually know that like the tube and like buses and stuff actually got you like from place to place. I thought it was just all for show.
My God.
I basically just thought it was like all for show. Or I thought you had to like for like the tube, I thought you had to like buy tickets like a regular train to get you from city to city.
No, you can just scan your card and then you go through. I
But
don't know
yeah,
if it was like that back in 2020, but obviously
it probably
nowadays.
was. I just didn't like I just really didn't know because I hadn't like didn't I just didn't understand it or anything. So we took a taxi from Heathrow to Islington. Heathrow to Islington took like an hour, hour and a half in the car.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But anyways, I slept the entire time we were in the taxi because that's when my brain finally decided to calm down. It was like, we can sleep now. You're here.
Jet lag.
Which, yeah. So we got to our hotel and I literally slept that entire day away. The one free day that I had in London, I slept the entire day away. So we saw absolutely nothing. So then the next I slept until like 11:30 p.m. and then I stayed up until like 6 a.m. and then I fell asleep for 2 hours. And then it was time to get up and get ready for the show. I make bad sleeping decisions over there. But anyways, then it was time to get up and get ready for the show. I like did my makeup and everything. Me and Grandpa got ready, and then we walked. I think it was like 20 minutes to the hotel. Nope, to the venue, which was O2 Academy Islington, which will always have a huge place in my heart. But anyways, so I got there like 10 a.m. and I didn't really like I knew of people, but people didn't really know me at all because I was still like very quiet in the fandom and stuff. And so I was very extremely nervous and scared because I was like, I'm not gonna talk to people unless
Nervous
they
mention.
talk to me.
Sorry. I said nervous mention because you said nervous.
I was talking to my grandpa about something about food or something probably, and um I think the people in front of me like heard my accent. It was like, you don't belong here. Not in a bad way, but like
He does sound really bad.
no, it wasn't in a bad way. It was like that accent isn't from here.
That's not a British accent.
No, it's not. And I think some people thought I was faking it for a minute and then they realized that like
Pablo is not faking it.
I'm not. I can't do a British accent if I tried.
Oh bless. I can't do an American accent.
But so they started talking to me and like asking like my name, my age, and like how I got here, like
Social security number. Blank details.
yeah.
I'm joking. Don't ask anyone random that. Don't do that.
I mean if they give it to you. But anyways, they and then like they had their own little like group that they were talking to. And then the two girls they decided that they wanted to take some pictures like to remember the day. And I was taking them and then they were like, "Do you want to join?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was so happy because I was like, I'm getting involved. People are talking to me. I'm in pictures with people. I was really excited and happy that they were like including me and stuff, which if you're ever going to like a thing like a Max and Harvey or a 13 again thing by yourself, you're gonna make friends almost instantly. Everyone is
100%.
gonna like especially like I feel like even the newer fans, we're all just like we want to know more about you. Like we want to like make more friends like with each other. We all want to talk to each other. We're all happy that we're like there together. We're meeting the people that we love. And like because me and Jazz have been fans for so long now, it's so like heartwarming to see like the newer fans and how like they react to how they are and making like their cliques with other people in the fandom. It's just oh, it's so great and heartwarming, and I love it because that was us, and now we're like grown ups.
Ugh, why would you say that to me? I'm gonna feel more ill.
But yeah. So I was there like 10:30 in the morning, and then obviously meet and greet, check-in and stuff didn't start until about 4:30. So we were there for a long time. I made some great connections with people. That's where I met Charlotte, who I'll show on a picture. She's one of our friends as well. That's where I met Charlotte and Charlotte. But yeah, I met a lot of great people, and it made me so like happy to like finally be able to be around people that like love the same people as I do, because as I talked about them so much, my parents kind of not banned me from talking about them in the house, but I got yelled at a lot about it.
My dad used to his nickname. Well, he still does here and there when he asks me about Max and Harvey. He calls them Max and Paddy or Max and Ruby.
The meet and greet was starting, and my ticket wouldn't scan. Like it was like it wouldn't scan. The security guard was like arguing with me. I was in full-blown tears, not knowing what to do. And then eventually it worked and I got in, but now I wasn't around the people that I had been getting to know all day. I was around strangers again. And my grandpa didn't come in with me because he wasn't able to come in for the VIP. And so I was so like, again, I was scared all over, not knowing what to do. And then
I also went on my without my parents, by the way, just for just
you see, I couldn't go without my parents or grandpa because I was 17 years old in a whole other country.
No, I was just clarifying that I got taken by my mom, but I went into the actual venue by myself.
Yeah. But so these people behind me, it was these two girls and their dad. They like we started chatting while we were waiting because it took quite a while to get like to the actual meet and greet part. And we were chatting, they were all so nice. The dad was like so like he was like in dad mode, being like, oh, I'm so happy. Anyways, and then if you've gone to that venue, you have to like walk upstairs and then you'll like round a corner and that's where the meet and greet is. And so we got up to like the end of the stairs. I was like, I wonder if I can see them. And I like tilted, like I stepped over, like tilted my head to see if I could see them. And that's where I saw Harvey in the distance, and my immediate reaction, I burst into tears. And this dad was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I saw them. They're real. And then I'm just in full blown tears. Like I don't know if I thought they were fake or something, but I apparently did.
Are you real? Are you real?
Oh my god, they're real. And I was just like full blown crying, having a full blown like meltdown, panic attack, whatever. And this dad was just like trying his best to like calm me down. And he's like, "You okay?" And then I started freaking out more because I was like, I don't want to cry while meeting them. He's like, "You're not gonna be crying while meeting them," but like they're right there, and I'm still crying. And then I eventually calmed down. It got to my turn to meet them, and I was like, they was like, "Hello," whatever. And in my meet and greet, like the dad that was behind me, he was like, she flew all the way from Wisconsin to see you. And then they were confused for a second on what he said, and then it clicked in their brain, and they're like, "What with 5,000 dogs?" I'm like, "Yeah." And Max was like, "His accent, like I didn't notice the accent, it just went right over my head." I'm like, "Yeah." And then I couldn't really like get a lot of words out or anything. And then I went, and my meet and greet was all done, and I was happy.
That's like your face on the top. He came all the way from Wisconsin to see you. From Wisconsin. Oh my god, I knew about this. Yes. You have like 5,000 dogs. And now turtles as well. Thank you so much for the turtles. Thank you. I didn't hear you speak, it just sort of went in my head. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming all this way. Let's get a picture. So excited. How was your travel? Yeah, I'm not surprised. You've been quite a few stops. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
And then I met Jenna, and she realized my accent like right away. She was so excited because she's like, another fellow American. And
We love
then
Nan.
we do.
We also
Go-
love Max Nobby too.
Yeah, but go listen to Jenna's music. She just released a song. It's called It Takes a Village. She's
It's a
also
good
had several viral songs, one being See You Later. So go listen to them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenna's actually on my phone case. She's right
Or
there.
go follow her. It's Jenna Rain. So go follow her. But anyways, then I got to like where the like concert was like happening. Like, yeah. And then I wasn't barrier just because I had been like because I had gotten like pulled, but I couldn't go in because of my ticket wasn't scanning. And so then I was like, I think like second, third row, and concert happened. I was the happiest I've ever been in my life. I was so like, I enjoyed it so much. And then afterwards, I went and got merch, and I got a picture with Sarah.
I forgot to mention she actually when I bought my shirt, she actually was the one that served me, and I didn't realize until after I looked up, I was like, oh thank you, and I was like,
I can't say her name properly because I know it's not
Sarah.
Sarah, but Sarah. I don't know. But yeah, I got a picture with her, and then I had met a friend that I met online. I chatted with her for a minute, and we got a picture together with her. And then we left, and then we got back to our hotel at like midnight. And then the next morning was
the rest of the week was
Birmingham.
meeting my
The next morning was Birmingham, so we went from London to Birmingham, dropped our stuff out at the hotel, and then we went straight to the venue again. And then I met more people. I met this really amazing girl and her mom, who literally the sweetest people ever, because I originally didn't have meet and greet. I just had like regular GA. And this woman had got to know me and grandpa, and she was like, I accidentally have an extra VIP ticket. Do you want it? I'm like, are you like serious right now? And like I start crying again. She's like, absolutely. You're such a sweetheart. You've traveled all this way. You deserve it. I'm just like,
Oh.
oh. But it was just like so great, like seeing these people and how like happy we are with each other. Like you literally make the best connections with people in the same fandom as you. And then that queuing was dumb because the security was not very good at it, and they moved everyone around. And so I was like 10th in the queue, and I ended up being like 30th to meet them because it was so like not organized.
I hate unorganized queues. It really stresses me out.
And it was so like annoying. And like we were telling the security, like we were here before them, like these people just showed up and everything like that. I was like, that it like they tried to fix it, but it didn't work very well. And then I met them, and this Birmingham meet and greet was where they first met Grandpa. They actually talked to Grandpa more than they did in my own meet and greet, but you know, whatever. We all love Grandpa. I got a few more words out, did our meet and greets. Then I met Jenna. It was her birthday, so we all sang happy birthday to her in the concert. And then the concert happened again, had the time of my life. It was great. Loved life.
How are the dogs?
Oh, they're fine.
There's many dogs. We know about the dogs. Are you enjoying your trip to England?
You're enjoying it.
And then the next morning, we had to travel to Manchester.
The show of me. The show of me.
The show of jazz. But
I'm half Mancunian, guys. It's fine.
originally our
half,
train tickets weren't working. So then I had to go to like customer service, and they're like, I was freaking out again. What?
Because when I was saying I'm half Mancunian, you started carrying on. I was like, no, wait, I'm a quarter Mancunian.
But no, the tickets weren't working, so I had to go to customer service, prove that I bought the tickets and everything. And the lady was like, she was so nice. She's like, you get on this train, it will take you the exact same route. Your ticket will work. You will be all good. So I was calm. Everything worked. And then we got to Manchester. And then a whole bunch went down with the people in the queue. I'll talk about it quickly, but these people were complaining that people weren't letting them push in front in the queue, and because they were like, we traveled so far, it's not fair. I've spent so much money, I've done all this work, and the friends that I had made throughout the 2 shows prior to that and that day were just like, they've traveled so far, really? They've put in so much work, really? And they were like looking at me being like, you should really go talk to them. And I'm like, I mean, maybe if it gets worse, I might.
Yeah.
But eventually we got in. My meet and greet, I actually did a pose that time. I was able to talk a little bit. Jenna remembered my name, so I was like starstruck. And I was just, I loved it.
Yeah, well, it's been a time. We hope you enjoyed it. Okay. I might have to go on knees to hug because I'll do it like this. Awesome. Thank you ever so much for travelling all this way. We have to see. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Is he filming? Well, that didn't very much happen. It was great.
And then the concert happened, and then it was so warm that I almost passed out. I had to go see the medic. And then I had a mental breakdown because I was like, it wasn't supposed to end like this. Happy how it ended, I guess. And I had a complete mental breakdown. Obviously, I am so grateful about the times that I met them and everything.
Me too.
I was 17 and emotional, and it just, a lot was happening.
Yeah.
So then, the next morning, because we were supposed to be in Manchester a couple days to fly home, the next morning, me and my grandpa were talking, and I was just like, what, can we like go to Glasgow? And he's like, what are you talking about, kid? Like, can we go to Glasgow? And he's like, well, do you have enough money? I technically, yes. He's like, what does technically mean? I'm like, I'll have $7 left in my bank account. He's like, you know what? Fine. He wasn't the happiest, but he agreed to it. So we packed our suitcases really quick, got on our train, had like 3, 4 hours to Glasgow, arrived in Glasgow on a Friday night. I was in culture shock because all these girls my age were very drunk, and I was not really around that kind of stuff. So I was like, thought this just happened in movies. But
Welcome
yeah.
to the UK. Oops.
Huh?
I said welcome to the UK.
Yeah, welcome to the UK. But yeah. So then we got to our hotel, which ended up being like a 5-minute walk from the venue. So it all worked out. We got there. The next morning, woke up super early, didn't have a ticket because I'm stupid. Went to the venue, was there all day, joined, like, made more friends and everything. And then the meet and greet was starting, and I still didn't have a ticket. So I was freaking out. I was like, did I do all this for nothing? And then the girl said she had a GA ticket. I was sad that it wasn't
VIP.
great. I was like, I'm still gonna be able to like go. So then I got into the concert. It was happening, and then I recorded most of it, and then I thought it was the last song coming up, but it was the second to last song, which was Trade Hearts. And I was just like, I just wanted to enjoy the rest of it. So I put my phone away. And right as I did that, if you went to that tour, Harvey wore a bandana that whole tour, and he threw it out at near the end of each night. And so as soon as I put my phone away, because I thought I'd already missed the bandana part, I look up and I see him like he's like taking the bandana off, and I'm just like. But anyways, so I was watching it. He threw it, and it was like going this way, and this is my non-dominant arm. So he did it, and like my arm instinctively went out, and like as soon as my arm went out, it landed in my hand, and I accidentally hit a girl with like when my arm went out. I apologize. She's good, probably. Like, as I was bringing it back to me, I was bringing it back to me so slowly, and I had it so tightly in my hands that my hand was like white, and I had like indentions from my nails. I was like, it is right there. I still have it. Yay. But anyways, so yeah, I was so happy about it. The night ended. And so me and a couple girls were waiting outside after to see if they'd come out. Didn't really think they were gonna come out, and then their friend Dylan and Jenna came out, and we chatted to them, and then we like look. One of us looks up and we're like, oh, they're here too, being Max, Harvey, and Dobby. And then we had our little chats with them. That was the night I found out Grandpa told me, hey, you save up again, we can go again. And I told Max and Harvey about it. Now we're here, and I've been able to meet them so many times, and I
Look at all the
don't
memories.
I get nervous to see them, but it's more of like I'm so excited. But yeah,
It's like the adrenaline.
it's
And
the
it makes so many good memories.
yeah. But yeah, that is our first ever times of meeting them. I know mine is more than once, but it's kind of just all together because what happened the first day, and it just continued on to things that happened the following days. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. We hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. We will be back to our regular posting now. So thank you so much for joining. We love you.
We love you.